So this video is going to be on how to install the Android emulator on Apache Cordova via the command line. We'll be doing the installation on a Mac OS 10 Yosemite. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm assuming that this video assumes that you already have Node and npm, the package manager, installed already on your machine. So first thing is, before we get started, you're going to want to download Homebrew just to make life simpler. It is a package manager for the OS system, the Mac OS, uh, and it just basically sets things without you going down and configuring um, the environment variables for your permission sets on your machine. So if you haven't messed around with Bash, this just makes it simpler to use Homebrew. So just copy this line into your terminal, paste it in there, and then hit enter, and you shall have Homebrew installed. From there, you're going to want to install. We want to check if we've got Java installed. So a quick way to check if you have Java installed is to type jvac, and you should get something like this. But if you don't worry. Let me just clear that. Just head on over to, you can Google this, but you can, I will leave all the links, by the way, at the bottom of this video. But you can go over to Oracle, and then you're going to need the Java platform, the JDK, so you're going to click on download. Accept the license of course. Obviously, it's Mac OS. So you'll click this guy, you're going to download it. This package will be downloaded over to the downloads folder. Go to the downloads folder, and literally once it's downloaded, and I don't know where it's at here, but once it downloads, just install it and let it run. And that's pretty much it for that. Then you can go back to terminal, type jvac again. You can type jvac or you can type Java, either or, and you should get this. Alright, so then from there, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to install Ant. And what Ant is, let me see if I have it up. It is a Apache Cordova, Apache's project. And let me just pull it up. Yeah. So this is the Java library for the command line tool, and obviously Android runs on Java. So you can download this and again configure this manually. I won't do it. I'm just saying because you want to. Let's just keep this really simple. So again, we'll use Homebrew for this. So we're just gonna take this right here. You're just gonna type Homebrew install Ant in terminal. So we'll go brew install Ant and hit enter. And then once that installs, you may have to do sudo, by the way, in case your permission set isn't allowed, but you should be fine. Actually, no, you don't have to use sudo because it's brew. Sorry. So then all you have to do once it installs, just to check it's installed, type in ant. You should get this. If you get that, you know you're good. So literally after that, the next step to do is all you're going to type in now is type in brew, and we're going to download the Android toolkit tools for the SDK. So we're going to type in brew, install -android -SDK. You're going to hit enter. Once that's downloaded, it's going to give you something very similar to this right here, and that should tell you that you have it downloaded. Yes, obviously it's going to say the Android SDK is available in your permission set in the folder in your local bin down there, but it's going to tell you need to set the platform tool, so we'll get to that. And don't worry too much about setting environment variables. Again, we're doing this all with brew, so it will be set to your path via your user set. So then from there, what we're going to do is, and let me just pull that up because actually I was looking at that. Yep, if it would just play nice. Okay. So let me just take a look and I can remember it from here. We're going to, yeah, okay. So all we're going to do is we're going to cd into our user dash local op and Android SDK. We're going to ls, and then you're going to look for extra. So you want to cd into extra because this is what we need to do honestly before we move forward and configure and set up Android, because we can now run Android has now been binded and set into our permission set. So if I type in Android, I will get something. And it pulls up my Android SDK manager. But we'll get there again. Don't worry about that. But let me stop that. So I'm clear. So we're going to, again, ls, we're going to cd into extras. And what we're going to do now is we're going to set the Intel ham, or however you say it, I don't know. And what this does is basically allows your emulator to run faster. If not, it's going to be really slow. So we're going to do this first before we move forward. So you're going to cd into extra, ls, we're going to cd into Intel, and then we're going to cd into hardware. Right? And then we'll hit ls. So what we want to do is, this is what we want. So we're just going to type open -Intel hamd. We're going to hit enter. Well, I've obviously already done it. And then you should get a little window that says this guy. You click on that and you're going to get this. And you'll just go through the whole thing. I'm not going to go through it. Just follow the steps. It's very simple. You're going to install it on your OS machine. Don't install it anywhere else. Once that's completed, I'm just going to clear this and I'll just head to the root. It's simple. By the way, if you have a bunch of stuff, if you have like that, just type in Control L and it'll clear if you don't want to keep typing in clear. So once you have that set, all you're going to do is type in Android. And here's where we're going to download all the Android SDK. This is the Android SDK manager. So from here, we're just going to download all the tools that we need. So Cordova's platform, the current version that I'm running on, I don't know what version it is. I can check in a second. But it's basically, you're going to need 22. So Android 22 is the version you're going to need. So make sure you install that. So I clicked on, for example, we'll click on this. You don't need 23. I clicked on the latest, obviously, and then I didn't click on 21, 19, because, you know, for whatever reason, don't need it. I clicked on Android 6.0 and then 5.0, because obviously this is what we need, the API of 2. And then go down to the extras. You don't really need everything. The ones I would recommend you need are the Android support library, support repository, support library. Definitely going to need the Intel x86 emulator. And so this is what we did earlier. So this is really important so that we can run pretty quickly. You will need that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it, I would say. Then all you're going to do is install one package. It's going to take you over, so I'll just do this real quick. So it'll take you over to something like this. And if you just click on that, you may have like 25 of these. If you just click on this guy right here, it'll actually check OK for all of them. Then you just click on install. I'm not going to do it because, again, I've already have it installed on my machine. Once that's done, the next step is to type android.avd, and you should get a window like this. So I already have one, but you know, you'll get this, it'll pretty much say something populate like this. You're gonna go Android to virtual device. You're gonna go create new device, and then once you create a new device, I'll just edit mine so you'll see it'll take you to a window like this. You need to give it a name. You have to give it a name. You can change this, so I have it set on Galaxy Nexus. This is what I'm using. You can go to 6 or whatever. I should go to 6 actually. Let's do that. I'll go to 6. Use Android 6.0 level 20. Well, we'll go to level 25 just to be. Well, we'll look at that. Whatever. You want to use this guy right here, Intel Atom 86. You can use skin, no skin, and basically what skin is, all skin is it lets you to have the buttons overlaid on the outside of the emulator. Instead, you would just get like a just a simple window without no buttons on the outside of the emulator. But I like it with no skin. You can use front emulate for camera. You say no to that. Memory. Wow, there's a lot of memory on this guy. I don't know why, but okay, that's how much has been allotted to it. Excuse me. And maybe it changes VO which one you're using. Okay, so I don't think I have that much memory saved up for this guy, so I'll go down to 4, which is fine. Or yeah, I'll do 5. I think I have 2,000. No, I'll just leave it at 4. It's fine. So once you have that set, you're gonna want to click on Use Host GPU. You know, you want to use your own processor on your machine. You're gonna hit OK. Then all you're gonna do, you'll get. Oh, obviously you had to. Let me go back here. You need to create a name, no spaces. Just create a name for it. Then you're gonna hit Start. You're gonna get this little window right here. You can change the size. If you go to scale, like if I don't want mine to be 25 feet long, I can go here and I will change my size to 3. And this is a good option. Use wipe user data. And here we go. So she's starting up. And if you get an error here, make sure to check that. You make an error there if you've gone ahead and don't have the Intel 86 installed. But she's coming. Just give her a second. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay. And okay, that's right there. So I'm just waiting on this to pop up. And here we go. Obviously, I have a. Okay, so this popped up really small with a really small window. Whatever, it's okay. You can play around with it and put it at 5 or 6 inches, and that's what you get. And I'll let no, I'm not gonna let this go in. But that's pretty much it. You should wait on it to load and it'll open up. So I'll close out of that. The next thing to do to make sure. Oh, actually, I need to go back in there because let me just make sure something really quick. Okay. So the next thing to do is we can go into our Cordova project, and I think I have one already here. So you know you do to create, you do Cordova create, and then you know yada yada yada, the name of the project. But I already did that, so we'll CD into the Cordova.api project. You want to add platform, so of course you do Cordova -platform, add iOS, Android, and that should add those two. A good way to check to see what platforms are installed, you can just type Cordova ls, and this will tell you what's installed. So for me, I have Android and iOS. So then, now that Cordova is installed, you want to build the package so that the APK package can be supported and run on the Android emulator. So what we're going to do is, obviously we're going to type Cordova build, and we're just going to type Android. Alright, and we'll let this run and build. Okay, she's running. She's building. Okay, Cordova's built. Now that Cordova's built, just really quick, we can check what emulator we want to run it on. If we have multiple emulators, you never know, you may create multiple emulators. So we can do Cordova list -avd. And that should work, but let me just check something. Huh. Let me just double check. Okay. Right. Let me see. Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Well, you can look it up on, and it's Cordova list AVD or something like that. But the next thing we're going to do, since we already packaged everything, we built it, so all we're going to do is Cordova -emulate Android, and that should be it. And all we're going to do is wait for the emulator, and that should pull up. And while we're waiting, I will look this up over here. There we go with that. She's pulling up. So, as soon as she pulls up, we'll get rock and rolling. A couple other things you can, once you start getting into it, you can install Ripple for debugging, and WinRAR is a pretty good one I've seen so far. So it's going automatically right into the device. So there we are, we're right there at the device. Let me see if I can click out of that. Oh, okay, wrong one. Okay, and we're here. So now we're at the emulator. That's it. So obviously the apps are installed right over here. So if I do this, I've uninstalled the app, and that is it. So there you go. That's how you install the Android emulator via the command line for Mac. If you guys have any trouble, just drop me a line, and I'll do the best that I can to help you guys. Thanks.